lot going on today. So a few new players, and we got a game. So busy day today. I will take questions. Go ahead.
Scott, a lot has changed since Dylan Moore went on the IL. How does he kind of fit back in positionally?
Well, we're going to give Dylan, obviously he's having a really good season, really stepped up offensively and everything we've thrown at him defensively. The majority of his reps have come in the outfield. You're going to probably see a little bit more of him at second base. He will still play some outfield and cover up a number of different positions for us, but he's in there at second tonight. Obviously, we got Ty France in the mix now as well, so you'll see Ty at second some, along with the other guys that have been at second this year. So it's going to be a little bit more – I need to be more creative putting lineups together here. You know, we need to really take advantage of the games that we have left in the season with the players that we have and the ones we've just acquired, obviously. So we'll be creative and keep all avenues open and giving these guys opportunities at different spots.
Scott, is there an odd man out that loses playing time that he might have been getting before that maybe not in these last 23 games won't be getting as much playing time?
I think I said an opportunity to sit down with Shed Long yesterday and kind of explain to him, with the new additions on the ball club. You might see Shed play a little left field here and there. You'll obviously still see him some at second base. You might see some DH there. So looking at current roster where we're at, it might be affect Shed. And again, I say all those things, and Shed's still a very young player. I know the first, 30-some games in the season maybe didn't go as he'd hoped offensively, but there's still a lot to like in what he brings. But again, it's, giving other guys maybe opportunity that have performed a little bit better to this point in the season.
Got another area that's changed a lot is your bullpen. I know you roles are going to be flexible. How do you kind of work these new guys in, Walker Lockett and Frank Opp?
Yeah, we're going to try to get a chance to see them all. I think, we've been out for 3 days. We've got some different guys in the bullpen, including Kendall Graveman, who we've never seen out of the bullpen before. So really looking at this series here through the weekend with the wraparound on Monday, see how guys maybe respond to maybe a little bit different roles that they've been in. We do have to shuffle it around, and that'll be ever-changing. We haven't really had defined roles at any point. We started to figure out who was going to handle most of the stuff at the back end of the game, and, a couple of those guys aren't with us anymore. So gives other people opportunity, and we'll certainly give them the ball and see if they produce.
Scott, before the deadline, you had Ramirez in there in that situation. We were kind of looking for Altavilla, and then we kind of, I think, found out why Altavilla wasn't in there. Do you look at Ramirez again in that kind of situation? Oh,
certainly can. I think, as we go through it, how bullpens work. You don't have everybody available every night. So it does create opportunities. And, when you look at the three younger guys we have out there, and Gerber, Fletcher, and Johan, giving those guys opportunities, putting them in positions where they have a chance to have success, but also we want to give them more exposure to those different things, whether it's a tighter game in the seventh inning or the eighth inning on certain nights when they may be the freshest arm out there. Let's give them the opportunity and go with it. So that's something we'll look for. There'll be plenty of opportunities that arise and create chances for those guys to take it and run with it. So again, bullpen, we don't really have any roles other than, Harana will pitch at the end of the game at some point. Some nights it might be the eighth. Most nights it's probably going to be the ninth inning. He's obviously our most veteran guy down there.
Scott, when you bring new players into the fold mid-season like this, what's your personal philosophy as to how you go about just watching them play for a while before really getting hands-on with them versus instructing them early? How do you go about approaching that?
Really don't get involved with their, what's going on the field too much. It's more of getting them up to speed on, what our environment, what our process is like, understanding. Oftentimes there's more on a catcher's plate than anybody else when you come to a new ball club, and you have to understand, all the personalities and the stuff of the pitching staff you're catching, and that takes a little while. That does not happen in 2 or 3 or 4 days. On top of that, you don't want to overload any of these guys, whether it's Luis Torrens or Ty France, guys that have come in. Is that we just want to let them be who they are, let them get a feel for who we are, and along the way, I've just got out of a catcher's meeting with Luis, and you're talking about Kikuchi tonight and what he likes to do in certain situations. And I just stopped the meeting and towards the end, and I said, hey, at the end of the day, trust your gut. You've caught a lot of pitchers. You've played pro ball for a lot of times. You're in the game. The game's crunch time. There's 2 guys on, 2 out with a 2-2 count in the 6th inning. Trust your gut. And we'll deal with that as it goes along. That's one way for us to find out about Luis, and where he likes to go and how he sees the game and things like that. So I'm really excited to have these 2 young guys in here. It gives us an opportunity to learn about them, and I think they're going to be a big part of our future here going forward.
Talking about Shed, 162 game season, is it, the struggles he has, he might have time to work things out, but it's just so compressed, and it seems like everything kind of bunched up on him a little bit in terms of the results he was getting.
I said it earlier, I'll say it again. We really like Shed Long. We like him a lot. And I think you can't, you're going to look at, 30-some games. Shed had a very good September for us last year, kind of earned the right to come into camp, spring training 1.0, and then summer camp, and then get the season going there. Like a lot of our young players, they don't have track record yet. I say track record, I'm talking about, we know what Kyle Seager is going to do. We understand what Marco Gonzalez is going to do. Other than that, we don't have a lot of guys with track record. So when you don't have track record, it becomes, what are you doing? How are you making adjustments? How are you performing on an everyday basis? And then, it becomes competitive. It's professional baseball. You produce. I often said it's the do good league. You produce, you get more chances, you do good, you can play more. So that's where we're at there. So, again, a lot of our young guys, they've gotten opportunities. Some guys have taken and run with it. Some guys have struggled a little bit. Doesn't mean it's over for them by any means. It just means they got to step back, make a few adjustments, and, earn their time again. Competition is a really good thing. I think people understand that. I think everybody says, he's our guy. He's going to get this opportunity, and we're just going to go. No, competition's great. It really brings out the best in people.
No, I guess what I'm saying, though, is over a full season, some of these guys would have been able to work through some of these things, perhaps, in terms of, or even the mental aspect of it. They look at their line, or they look at their, you've talked about how they look at their numbers. They can't help it. But, given the course of a normal season, there is a chance to kind of work through this. But, there isn't as much opportunity time to do that now.
No question. It's a shorter year this year. There's no question about that. But, where we're at, you're trying to get a feel for guys and create opportunities for them. So, again, there'll be plenty of opportunities for Shed. He's not going anywhere. You just may see him in a little bit. He might be in left field one day. He may be DHing one day. He may be playing second one day. It'll be a little bit more of that versus just being in at second base every day. Anything else?
Swanson is close. Is he going to throw again before something happens, or where's he at?
Yeah, Swanee threw bullpen. He's feeling better. I don't know. I'm assuming we'd get him in against either a sim game here or possibly down in Tacoma. I'm not quite sure where they're headed that way as far as, with the pitching coach and the head trainers deciding on his kind of back to work protocol and his program. So hopefully we get him back here soon. Certainly need him.